Hey, what's going on guys, YST here, welcome back to another raid video. Today is the first episode of Raid Underrated Legends, which is a little series I'm going to create of champions that people overlook and not use as often, and sometimes when they pull them they're not happy with them but they actually got a lot of utility. So the first one on this list is going to be SUZERAIN Katonn, who's a legendary undead hordes champion, and he is absolutely insane for countering the resistance meta in the arena. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so have you ever pulled this guy and thought, does he have any use? Yes, he does. If you have a lot of problems with Krisk, unkillables, block damages in the arena, or anywhere of the game actually, including the Doom Tower, this guy can be insane for you. So on his A1 here, we've got a 35% chance of placing a decreased speed. You can buff it up to a bit of an extra chance. This is solid for the spider and slowing down waves. And on his A2, we've got attacks all enemies, has a 50% chance of placing a weaken. If he doesn't place it, he has a chance of placing decreased defense. So in the spider, it's a bit RNG with landing which one you want. I wish it would be both, but you can't have everything. But the main reason which I love this champion is removes shield, block damage and unkillable buffs from all enemies, then attacks them. Then places 100% heal reduction, debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. This buff removal cannot be blocked or resisted. So what this means is you do not need accuracy for this build. You can just throw whatever you want, use them as fast as you can, so you can remove the big shields from Krisk in the arena, and you don't need any accuracy to make this happen. And because it's not a hit, you can't get a weak hit with it, so it's a 100% chance of landing, no books needed. So all you have to do is just run him extremely fast, make him go second in your team after your arbiter, etc., and make him remove it and have your nukers have at him. And also if there's people like rush guards with block damages, man eaters, swift parry sets, and it's just annoying, and this guy is just a huge counter for that. And he's got an aura of attack percent in all battles by 33%, which is solid as well. So the gear that I'm running with here is a relentless set. I'm not here to showcase a OP platinum arena gear set. This is something that everyone can relate to. So we've got a speed here, got no speed rolls here, but we got the speed set. Crit rate on the gloves, no speed here again. So there is a lot of improvement for this build. Defense percent with some attack, speed on the boots, and then we've got a triple roll speed with accuracy. The only reason for the accuracy is defense and weaken for the spiderlings or in dungeons or faction wars, just for extra bit of utility. We've got crit damage here, and we've got HP here. Another set which I recommend is the day set. So because he's always doing AoE abilities, you can sleep everyone possibly, or a stun set can also be utilized in this position. And the overall stats that I'm running with is a 30,000 HP, 3,200 attack, 2,700 defense, a 225 speed. I'd recommend higher if you can. This is just a reasonable speed that people can relate to. So from early all the way to the end game, depending on the gear you've got, you can make it faster, a little bit slower, depending on where you are in the arena. Close to 100% crit rate, 170% crit damage, and close to a 200 accuracy here. And the masteries that I'm running with is offense tree with the helm smasher at the bottom, and I've gone down here just to get the counter attack, so when people are attacking him like the spiderlings, etc., he can just go back, throw some more decreased speeds out with his A1, and it works out great. Alright, so before we get into the arena, I want to showcase the spider just in case people have this champion and they haven't fused Razin yet, or they don't have a decreased defense and weakened champion, and it can show a lot of utility there. So let's get into it. Alright, so we're just going to run this build here. So we've got a Duchess, a Suzerain, a HP burn champion, a Cold Heart, and a Cardinal, just for an extra bit of revive. I didn't want to put a solid nuker in there just to showcase a 20-second farm, because not everyone has 2 Royal Guards and 2 Cold Hearts on their account. So it could just show that if you're progressing in the spider, what you can do for you on the uprise. So let's get into this. So you can get his decreased defense and weaken out, HP burns, and then you can just put your Heart Seekers out, and then whatever abilities. The only reason I'm doing a bit of manual here is Ignatius does the provoke, but we don't want to kill off the spiderlings with the HP burnout. And then there you can get your decreased speeds out. It didn't land on the boss unfortunately because it's a 35% chance unbooked, but it does come in useful. So let's just leave this on auto now and see what it does. There we go, a nice little slam there. And that's the big hit I was talking about. So if you've got Ignatius, I recommend doing the A1 after the first hit, or just target the spider so he doesn't do it. And then that time there, he got a weaken out there. Another Heart Seeker coming in. HP burns. And hopefully this can chunk out the rest of the spider here. And this is where Cardinal is great also, so she can revive someone instantly and give them 100% turn meter, but we'll cover that in another video. There you go, that's where the relentless procs. And hopefully this last burn here can just kill off the spiderling. And there we go. So we got a 2 million damage there with SUZERAIN Katonn. Bearing in mind this isn't the most optimized team, so if you've got a miscreated monster with the shields and you don't have a great decreased defense and weakened champion, he could be useful for you, especially in a relentless set. So don't sleep on him for the Spider's Den if you're on the uprise, but if you're a bit end game, obviously you're not going to want to use him in that spot. So let's get into what everyone's here for, the arena, and let's counter those Krisk teams. Alright, so obviously here, I cannot beat this team, 450,000 power, but this is a great way to showcase how well a resistance meta can be stripped just by SUZERAIN Katonn being on the team. So we've got a Lydia lead, we've got a Duchess, Mountain King and a Krisk, high team power, a lot of resistance. So let's showcase exactly what you can do. So yeah, you guys seen that the accuracy on SUZERAIN Katonn is only 197, and obviously these guys are going to have a lot more than that. We're probably not going to beat this team, but that's not what we're showcasing in this run here. So let's just put a hit on here. Alright, so A3, remove shield, block damage and unkillable. Watch all of these go. Look at that. Resistance who? Obviously we're not going to win, but it just shows you how great this champion could be. See, his defense and weaken didn't proc there because his accuracy was low, because that one does require accuracy, but the buff strip, it requires nothing. So if you don't have a Madam Ceres, you don't have a buff stripper like a whose Ray does it, I believe, he could be a great useful champion to fit this role for your team. Nah, we're not going to beat this team. Surprisingly doing a bit better than I thought though. Alright, GG's, we lost that one. Alright, so let's go into a few more battles here, a bit more reasonable ones. Alright, so we got this team here who's got a Rush Guard on the team and also a Ray who can buff strip us, but that's not what we're trying to look at. We're looking at Suzerain today. So let's put an increased attack on. Astrolon also does the buff removals, but he only does it if a champion has Veil on, so that's not going to be as useful in this composition here. But let's actually not put the provoke on yet. Let's just slow you down. Alright, so let's just kill off Arbiter because we don't want revives right now. Now we want Rush Guard to get that up, so let's just do this. Alright, there we go. We've got the block damage up, and hopefully we can go for round 2. Alright, so we're safe to put the stun up here. Let's not remove it. Then here, what you do is you just put this on, remove everything, and there we go. So let's just hopefully finish this off here. So yeah, if you don't have a Madam Ceres on your team or any buff stripper and you don't have high accuracy gear and you pulled this champion, recommend using him in the arena for these high resistance teams. So I'm going to let you guys watch a bit of a montage and come to you towards the end of the video, and let's get into it. So that's going to be all for the video, guys. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like, comment and subscribe, and I hope this can make a lot of use on a lot of your accounts. And don't just leave him in the vault, guys. He's solid also in the faction wars. Unfortunately today it's not open, so I can't showcase him there for you, but in just general progression, the decreased defense and weaken, the full on AoEs, he can do great in the campaign, and he's an absolutely insane champion. Do not sleep on this guy. So thank you for always supporting, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.